Tell me if this sounds familiar to you, especially if you're a Washington Commanders fan. Dan Snyder is in a ton of trouble for doing something incredibly sketchy. And this isn't a build off of a story that we heard of him from the past. This is completely new, completely out of left field, and I can't even believe he'd attempt to do this. Now, before we get to the content, we're giving away $500 to a subscriber that turns on our notifications on this channel. I'm gonna announce the giveaway winner on the 15th of April, and make sure you check us out in our Discord community or our TikTok or our Twitch account in the description down below. Now that we get all that out of the way, break! Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? This isn't the first time we made a video on Dan Snyder. Every time I make a video on this individual, the video gets demonetized, mainly because of what this man does is very sleazy and very sketchy and a little creepy, but somehow, some way, he still has been able to retain ownership of the Washington Commanders over the past couple of years, which I must admit, at a specific point, it becomes impressive how this man wasn't forced to sell his team. Now, previously, we have made videos on Dan Snyder that primarily pertain to sexual misconduct that he had in the past, primarily with his own cheerleading squad. But this is a new level that just personally really pisses me off. I'm many things in this life, guys, and one of those things that I am is a businessman.
2 words: entrepreneurship.
And I am a very big believer in retaining integrity and being honest with those that you're doing business with, especially if you're in an exclusive billionaires club like the NFL, where all of your partners are incredibly successful, primarily because of their shrewd financial decisions. I mean, each and every owner of a NFL team is a brilliant businessman, and I don't think anyone is knocking that. So when you see what Dan Snyder was accused of, and honestly, it's being proven because this went all the way up to Congress and the FTC, your jaw is going to drop that this man even attempted to do something like this. And without a doubt, at this point, if you're a Washington Commanders fan, you should be excited because I feel like he is going to have to sell the team as a result of it. So let's start this out with Warren Sharp. We got this tweet saying, "Whoa, this is big. For the last decade since 2012, Dan Snyder has an underreported ticket revenue per the investigation. He raised prices and categorized surplus revenue as bogus licensing fees related to concerts and college football games to prevent sharing with other owners." So to simplify this, guys, pretty much how the NFL works is there's a gigantic revenue share. For example, this past year, the NFL had $8.78 billion in national revenue with 32 teams in the past season. Now, the way we're able to determine that is because the Green Bay Packers are a public team and they reported that their split from this past year was $274.3 million. Now, these teams share that amount equally. That way, if you're a really good team that fans are currently obsessed with watching, like say the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, you're able to make sure that the Jacksonville Jaguars are still able to get a share of the pie. Obviously, there are specific things that pertain only to each team, but in terms of this particular instance, we're discussing revenue share. Something that contributes to said revenue share is ticket prices. At least one of the things that Dan Snyder is being accused of doing is underreporting the amount of ticket revenue that he brought in. So he pretty much said that he sold tickets for like $80 a piece, when in reality he may have sold it for $110 per piece. So what did he do with that extra profit? Well, he claimed that this additional profit was related to concerts or college football games that he himself threw at his arena, and that has nothing to do with the NFL, so he could pocket the additional cash. This is absolute insanity, but it gets way worse. According to Pete Haley of CBS, Congress said this to the FTC, that Washington executives and Dan Snyder may have engaged in a troubling, long-running, and potentially unlawful pattern of financial conduct that may have victimized thousands of fans and the NFL. Oh yeah, that sounds really freaking bad. Let's dive into the specifics. So it continues to say, according to information obtained by the committee, including emails, documents, and statements from former employees, the Washington Commanders may have intentionally withheld millions of dollars in refundable deposits owed to fans and concealed revenues that were owed to the NFL as part of the league's revenue sharing agreement. The chairwoman had this to say: "This new information on potential financial misconduct suggests that the rot under Dan Snyder's leadership is much deeper than imagined. It further reinforces the concern that the organization has been allowed to operate with impunity for far too long. This new information suggests that in addition to fostering a hostile workplace culture, Mr. Snyder may have also cheated the team's fans and the NFL. And while the focus of our investigation remains the Commanders' toxic work environment, I hope the FTC will review this troubling financial conduct and determine whether further action is necessary. We must have accountability." The fact that the committee, while investigating evidence of sexual harassment and workplace misconduct, also uncovered evidence of what appears to be a scheme to cheat fans in the NFL tells you all you need to know about Dan Snyder and how he is running this organization. The question is, what other potential wrongdoings are the Commanders engaging in? And what is the extent of the dysfunction atop their leadership? The committee will continue to push for transparency and accountability from the team and the league to protect all employees in the workplace, and I urge the FTC to investigate the evidence provided by the committee of the Commanders' long-running financial schemes. So this is nuts. Pretty much they caught Dan Snyder not only cheating the NFL owners, but also finding a way to hold on to security deposits that NFL fans make in order to claim tickets or other merchandise. We're gonna get to what Dan Snyder's attorneys say in just a second, because there's a paragraph here that is in this gigantic document and letter to the FTC. I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description down below if you guys wanna do some additional reading, or if you're a lawyer and you wanna analyze it and put your piece in the comment section down below, I could possibly pin you. But take a look at this. According to information and documents obtained by the committee, for over a decade, Commanders executives may have withheld millions of dollars in refundable security deposits owed to customers upon the expiration of their multi-year seat leases, and may have taken steps to prevent customers from collecting these deposits. According to a former team executive, the Commanders failed to properly refund those security deposits intentionally and took various steps to retain as much of that money as possible. Documents indicate that as of 2016, the team may have retained up to $5 million in deposits from approximately 2,000 customers. So I have no idea what the Washington Commanders' motivation for that would be. I mean, maybe you could just say Dan Snyder is very money hungry despite being a multi-billionaire. Maybe he's in debt. You never know what the situation is, but the fact that he was able to hold on to $5 million in deposits from 2,000 customers of your own fan base just shows this man's a horrible human being, man. At a specific point, I'm sure the NFL is down to its last straw. They're placed in a very difficult situation here because they've been trying to conceal what this man's been doing for a very long time, and this is just information that is slipping between the cracks. I mean, this is probably like 15 to 20% of the shadiness that we know in regards to Dan Snyder, who has been a recurring theme over the past couple of years. And the NFL at a specific point might be fed up with defending him, especially if they just learned that Dan Snyder just cheated all of them. I don't know, this could be a chess move by Congress, because in the past, the one issue Congress has had with the NFL is that the NFL just doesn't give out information. They're not transparent with these investigations, and there's probably a significant amount of skeletons in the closet. So maybe this is something that Congress is doing to push the NFL to be transparent in regards to what Dan Snyder has done in the past, which I don't expect the NFL to be open with us in regards to the sketchiness that this man has done. Personally, I can't believe an individual would do this to his business partners and to his customers and to his fans. In addition to his own employees, it seems like this man screwed over every single person that's worked for him, worked with him, purchased a product from him, purchased a service from him, and at a specific point, it's just best to cut this man loose. I don't think there's a single Washington Commander fan that likes Dan Snyder, and I feel like after this, I don't think the owners will want to be in business with Dan Snyder any further. Now, we're gonna keep an eye on this story, so make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications if you want to stay up to date with the story. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.